Imagine this for a moment. You wake up 1 year from today, but this morning feels different. There's no knot in your stomach when you check your bank account. No dread about unpaid bills. Your savings are quietly growing in the background. Your spending finally makes sense. And for the first time in a long time, money feels like something you control, not something that controls you. Now, here's the twist. You achieved all of this without earning a single extra dollar. I know. It sounds almost unrealistic, but thousands of people have already done exactly this, simply by learning to manage their money better. And today, you'll learn how to do it too. Welcome to Wealth Flow Studio, where smart habits, simple strategies, and real financial stories help regular people build long-term wealth, one practical step at a time. Today's video is all about the most powerful, proven, and surprisingly simple tips to improve your money management. Whether you're 80 or 80, earning a little or a lot, just starting out or trying to rebuild. And don't worry, this isn't about extreme budgeting, giving up your favorite coffee, or memorizing complicated financial formulas. This is about taking back control of your life, your choices, and your future. So let's start from the beginning. Long before budgeting apps ever existed, and see why money management has always been the silent difference between people who thrive and people who struggle. When you really step back and look at history, money management isn't something modern humans invented. It's one of the oldest forms of survival. In ancient Mesopotamia, the birthplace of writing, the very first written records, or in tea poetry or philosophy, they were financial records. Lists of grain, receipts, debts, and payments carved into clay tablets. Even back then, people knew that without tracking what's coming in and what's going out, chaos follows. Fast forward a few thousand years. The early banking systems in medieval Italy weren't designed just for merchants. They became essential tools for regular citizens trying to protect their livelihoods. Bookkeeping, budgeting, interest tracking, all of it existed centuries before the first dollar bill was printed. And yet, despite having better tools, better information, better technology, and better education than any generation before us, most people today still feel lost when it comes to money. Modern studies reveal a pretty shocking truth. Nearly 65% of Americans don't track their expenses at all. Over 40% can't handle an unexpected $400 emergency. And even people with good salaries feel like they drowning in financial stress. And honestly, it's not their fault. We live in a world designed to make spending effortless, emotional, and invisible. But saving requires effort, discipline, planning, and courage. It's no wonder so many people struggle. That's why this video matters. Because you're not just learning tips. You're relearning timeless skills that have helped humans survive and thrive for thousands of years, but adapted to the modern world, where money moves faster than ever. So let's break everything down, step by step, starting with the foundation of all financial confidence. If you've ever watched a financial transformation story, whether it was a millionaire interview, or even a family member who turned their life around, they all began in the exact same place. Understanding their cash flow. Cash flow simply means how much money comes into your life and how much money quietly slips out of it. And if you're like most people, you probably believe you already know. But here's the thing, almost everyone underestimates their spending. And not by a little. A study by Intuit found that people miscalculate their monthly spending by an average of 22%. That's hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars disappearing without being noticed. I still remember the first time I tracked my own expenses. I thought I had a pretty good sense of where my money was going. Bills, groceries, a little eating out, maybe some subscriptions. But when I actually added everything up, the numbers shocked me. The tiny purchases. It's just $4. It's only $7. I'll deal with it later. Those were silently bleeding me dry. This is where the famous latte factor comes in. Not because coffee's evil, I love coffee, but because daily small expenses are sneaky. That $5 drink you grab on the way to work becomes $150 a month. That's $1,800 a year. Over 10 years, invested with even modest returns, it becomes tens of thousands of dollars. And again, the point isn't to stop drinking coffee. The point is to see where your money actually goes. There are many ways to track this. A simple notebook, a budgeting spreadsheet apps like YNAB, Mint, or Monarch, or your bank's built-in tracking tools. You don't need to overcomplicate it, just spend one full month tracking everything, manually or digitally. You'll be amazed at how quickly clarity turns into control. And control, that's the beginning of financial freedom. Once you understand your cash flow, the next step is giving your money a structure. Think of structure like the frame of a house. Without it, everything collapses. The moment pressure hits, the 50-30-20th rule is one of the simplest, most beginner-friendly structures ever created. Here's how it works. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for saving or investing. It's not strict, it's not complicated, and it's not meant to make you feel guilty. It's simply a guide. Something to help you avoid drifting into financial chaos. But here's the part people often misunderstand. You don't have to follow this rule perfectly. If your income is low or your cost of living is high, sticking to 50/30ths, 20 might feel impossible. The beauty of this method is its flexibility. It encourages progress, not perfection. And here's a secret that most financial experts agree on. Automation beats motivation. Every time. When you automate your savings, even a small amount, you bypass willpower, mood, temptation, and stress. Your future self gets paid before your present self starts spending. There's real data backing this up. People who automate their savings save 2 to 3 times more than those who try to save manually. Not because they earn more, but because automation removes the emotional battle. Imagine this. Every paycheck, your bank quietly moves 10%, 15%, or 20% into savings or investments. You don't touch it. You don't think about it. You don't negotiate with yourself. It just happens. That one change transforms your entire financial trajectory. If there's one lesson the world learned painfully in 2020, it's this. Life is unpredictable. Jobs vanish. Markets collapse. Illnesses strike without warning. Entire industries can halt overnight. An emergency fund isn't just money. It's safety, it's protection, it's peace of mind. Aim for 1 or 3 months of expenses when you're starting out. If you can save more later, great. But even a small emergency fund puts distance between you and disaster. People often think it'll take too long. I'll start later. But even $1 a day builds the habit. Even $20 a week creates a cushion. What matters is momentum. I remember reading a heartbreaking story about a woman who had a sudden medical emergency. She had no emergency fund, so the bills spiraled into debt. That debt spiraled into anxiety. That anxiety led to depression, and her entire life changed from one unexpected moment. Contrast that with the people who had even a small cushion. $500 is $1,000, $2,000, and were able to stay calm, stay grounded, and recover faster. An emergency fund doesn't make you rich. It keeps you safe long enough to become rich. Debt is the quiet villain of personal finance. Not because it exists. Debt is a tool, and tools can be used wisely, but because high-interest debt destroys progress faster than anything else. Credit card interest in North America averages 20% to 25%. That's higher than most long-term investment returns, higher than the average raise someone might get at work, and definitely higher than the interest you earn in a savings account. When your debt grows faster than your money, you get stuck in a loop, one that millions of people quietly suffer in. But there's good news. There are 2 highly effective methods to break the cycle. The snowball method: you pay off your smallest debt first, no matter the interest rate. This gives you quick wins, emotional momentum, and a psychological boost. Each success fuels the next. The avalanche method: you pay off the highest interest debt first. This saves the most money long term. Mathematically speaking, both methods work. The real question is, which one will you stick with? There's also a third, underrated strategy: negotiation. Yes, you can call your bank and ask for a lower interest rate. Many people save hundreds just by asking. Debt reduction isn't about shame. It's about strategy, planning, and small victories that compound over time. Once your foundation is in place, cash flow, budgeting, emergency fund, and debt control, you're ready for the most exciting part, making your money work for you. And no, that doesn't mean day trading, crypto gambling, or stock picking based on TikTok videos. It means simple, consistent investing into low-cost index funds, or These investment vehicles are powerful because they're diversified, low maintenance, beginner-friendly, historically proven if you live in the USA. Accounts like IRA or 401k can save you a fortune in taxes. In Canada, the TFSA lets your investments grow tax-free. In the UK, the ISA does something similar. I remember reading a story about a janitor, Ronald Reed, who quietly invested tiny amounts of money for decades. He lived a simple life, never earned a high income, and yet he passed away with over $8 million because he let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. You don't need thousands to start. You just need consistency. If you invested $100 a month with a 10% return, which is the historical average of the stock market, you'd end up with over $200,000 in 30 years. That's the power of compounding. It turns small habits into massive results. Here's the irony of our era. Money management is easier than ever, and yet financial anxiety is at an all-time high. We have apps that automatically track spending, banks that categorize expenses instantly, investing platforms that let you buy stocks with a single tap, educational videos like this one available for free. So why does money still feel so hard? Because the world around us has mastered the psychology of spending. Every notification, every sale, every ad, every click, all of it is designed to separate you from your money. In a world like this, money management isn't a skill, it's a survival tool. The biggest lesson of all: wealth doesn't begin with earning more. It begins with managing what you already have. And once you mastered that, everything else becomes easier. Improving your money management isn't about becoming perfect. It isn't about sacrifice. It isn't about punishment. It is about building a system so stable and supportive that your future begins to take shape almost automatically. When you understand your cash flow, you gain clarity. When you use a structure like 50-30-20ths, you gain stability. When you build an emergency fund, you gain peace. When you reduce high-interest debt, you gain freedom. And when you invest consistently, you gain a future that's bigger than anything you imagined. Your financial life isn't a race, it's a story. A story you get to rewrite, starting today. If this video helped you, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wealthflow Studio. Your support helps more people discover the tools they need to build a stable, confident financial future. And remember, financial freedom isn't about how much you earn. It's about how well you manage what you have. One decision, one habit, one day at a time.